Hello there, welcome to another episode of World of Warplanes with Ungainly Titan. We're here on this map, I think it's Enemy at the Gates they call it. And this is a recording based from the replay. They brought in a replay system for World of Warplanes. It's a bit like the replay system on World of Tanks Mercenaries or World of Tanks console because doesn't give you the full camera movements of the player as far as I can tell. I'm pretty certain I used the close sighting mode several times in the course of this game, but the replay doesn't show this at all. So it's probably, it's a bit problematic in its usage, I suppose. It's very good if you had a game that you wanted to show that you hadn't recorded at all, or it would be pretty good for showing other perspectives within a game that you've already recorded, so you want to show things that you can't see from the pilot's point of view, and very useful on that level. I haven't played around with the recording system to determine if you can look at games or follow other players. I presume you can. I actually have not played World of Warplanes since the session that I recorded this game in, because I've been spending my time playing Fort Triumph and UFO Enemy Unknown, mostly. Fort Triumph is up on the channel as videos. I usually put them up on Thursday nights, and a good few of them. So far I've been playing through that. I've also been playing a set of XCOM. I've been sort of going through it and replaying it and starting again with fresh games and stuff like that, because I'm not too happy with the choices I made. It seems a little more difficult than it did on the Xbox. Not sure whether that's just me and my impression that it's more difficult, or whether it really is more difficult, but it seems to me to be more difficult. If this is a real piece of geography, it's pretty spectacular. A whole limestone gorge carved out of a hill, really, a river running through it. Must have originated with caverns underneath the hills surrounding there in the lake, just the river just got in. Although looking at it later on the map, you can just see there's a whole line of limestone cliffs on one side of the river. So in the game we've taken one of the bases, and I'm attempting to take the central one. Now at the moment it doesn't look too bad, but there's an awful lot of enemy aircraft over at the other airfield, and they're starting to head this way, and all of a sudden the place becomes very, very thick with enemy aircraft, because they seem to be making their way into the central garrison location a lot faster than we are, and I'm a little too determined, I think, to take this guy out. I'm not taking enough evasive action. However, I'm losing hit points in the plane, but I'm not dead yet. And the next thing, that happened. And when I was really surprised when it happened. It came as a big shock, and I was wondering, did this guy deliberately ram me out of the sky? And looking at that, I'm not too sure. So I can look at it again in slow motion, thanks to the magic of video editing. And he is awfully, awfully close. Now, I do think he might have been thinking of ramming me, but I think by the time I actually hit off him, he wasn't planning on ramming me at that point in time. But I did hit off him, and it was probably more my fault than his, but he was very, very close. So that was the me shot out of the sky at the very beginning. So I respawn some 10 seconds later or whatever it is, and I continue on back into the garrison. Now at this point the wisdom of going to the garrison is somewhat questionable. I suppose I regard it as essential that we take someplace, but there's a lot of red aircraft there. I mean, it really is thick with red aircraft around the garrison area in front of me. However, we fly onwards bravely and intrepidly into the enemy and see if we can do something for our team. They have two capture zones in the bag, so to speak. They have one of the airfields and they have this garrison location, so they are racking up the capture points a bit faster than we are, and this is going to be a problem. And around we go. Don't quite get well, not sure if we got the kill there or not. I know I did get some kills. Didn't do too badly by my standards in this game. Sky is basically full of targets, but I don't know which one to go for. I'm not even sure at this point. I'm not even sure if I can make up my mind. I do seem to have lost the planes that were immediately on my tail, and I just narrowly avoided ramming into this guy. And then I was thinking of going for him, but I was losing altitude, so I had to turn in a hurry to avoid crashing into the cliff again, which is a kind of a habit of mine at this location. And the next thing, your man pops up again. And I'm thinking, okay, that was deliberate. He definitely wanted to ram me. He's some trick of taking out my tailplane. So I wanted to have a close look at this one as well. And there he is, coming up, guns blazing. Quite close. And he's closing the distance. And yes, that was a deliberate ram into my tailplane. Now he seems to have suffered for the worst for it, also because he's on fire as a result of it, or possibly as a result of it. Maybe somebody shot him as well, but he's definitely on fire. But he has taken me out of the fight, and I am about to go down, and go down hard, and don't know whether he recovered or not. I do know that the game doesn't really show the team score at the end in the recording. I'm not too sure why. I'm back in the fray again. This is 15 seconds later, and but as I was saying, in the team score, I do remember this guy had like 13 times the experience gains over everybody else in the team, and he had, can't remember now, but he had a lot of planes shot down. Substantial number of planes shot down. So he is good. I mean, he isn't doing this accidentally, he's doing this deliberately because he can. And he is good enough to basically have a huge impact on the team. It was pretty obvious who he was in the end score, but because I don't have a copy of it, I can't really share it with you, but yes. And I also suspect he was one of the few live humans in the actual game, because that is a problem with this game. There are seems to me a lot of the players in a given match seem to have very bland, ordinary kind of names. Ordinary, that is, if you're not Western European English speaking, but they're seen to be ordinary kind of names. They're all one word. They're all look like names, whereas the players tend to have, well, odd names like Ungainly Titan, or compound names, or numbers and letters and all kinds of stuff like that in their names. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a like and please share it around. If you've not already done so, please subscribe to the channel, and I will catch you all again soon. Bye for now.